Hello and welcome to another edition of Century 21's podcast, Property Done Properly. Lots happened since the last one we did. Labour got voted in. England lost the Euro finals on penalties. Oasis have started announcing they're doing a series of gigs in 2025. That seems to be the hot news at the moment. But probably more importantly, I found out why seagulls are never seen up trees. So I'll leave that one for your brains to work out. I'm joined today by Jamie Arthur from Property Webmasters. Jamie and his team undertook a rebuilding of the Century 21. Well, actually, they've rebuilt the whole of the Century 21 website and done a fantastic job. But we're here today to talk in regards to being starting up a business, entrepreneurialism, if that's even a word. I'm surprised I could say it. I was practicing it earlier and I kept getting it wrong. So, hi, Jamie, how are you doing? You all right? Nice to meet you finally.
Yeah, very well, thanks. Real pleasure to be included in today's podcast. So yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Nice to see you. We've been conversing over the last 3 or 4 weeks while we've both been away in various destinations. So it's good to finally get underway. So Jamie,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so thanks for the kind intro there, and it's nice to hear that you've had a good experience with the team here at Property Webmasters with the new Century 21 website, and it's obviously a project that we're very proud of as well. But a little bit more about me is that I'm the founder of Property Webmasters. It was founded back in 2007. So I was in the real estate industry for about 4 or 5 years prior to that as well. So looking at about 20 years under my belt in real estate and software production and marketing solutions for estate agents around the world. So that's primarily our service offering. So we work on software solutions for estate agents and property developers and individual brokers around the world. We've also worked and still do work with a number of sort of high profile property portals internationally as well. So we're very fortunate to work with some key players in the industry. But yeah, and very proud to say that we have clients in over 50 countries now as well. So it's really quite
Excellent.
exciting here at Property Webmasters.
Brilliant. It sounds really exciting. What was your first job then? What did you start out doing?
So my very first job, well, real job, I think we all had paper rounds and things like that, but I won't include that in it being a first job. But I actually stacked shelves at Asda. So during my years at college, from probably 17 through to 21, I was busy stacking the dog food shelves in in Asda in Hartlepool. So it was quite tiring actually, because it was the night shift. So it was starting at 10 p.m. and finishing at 6:30 a.m. the
Yeah.
following morning, but then getting up and going to college at 8:30. So not much sleep in those days, but needs must.
Yeah, definitely. So there's obviously there's been GCSEs come out in the last week. Week before that, it was A-level results. A lot goes on in the papers about the pass rates and various things. Um, the qualifications that you passed or took when we all had our option choices at school, how does that reflect on where you ended up today?
Well, I've always been a fairly sort of creative person, so
Mhm.
quite good at art back in school, like fine art and things like that. And then I went into college and I did sort of the marketing side and the product development side through college, and then I went on to do a degree at university, which was in design and marketing. So I've always been kind of design and marketing, creatively led. This is obviously something that I think I'm quite good at. I'm getting on a bit now though, so I don't know how much creativity is left in me, but yeah, that's kind of how it started. But really, I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do, probably until I was sort of 23, 24, to be honest. And I think it's a big challenge for a lot of people that when they're leaving school or leaving college or even leaving university, you really have no clue what you want to do. I think a lot of people go to university and then the 3 years elapse, and then you've got some decisions to make, and it might not be that you do anything related to what you've done at university, which isn't a problem. But I think it's good to go through that process so that you can show that you're committed, and you can get your head down and be dedicated to something during that period.
Brilliant. So what was your first company idea?
First, it was actually Property Webmasters. So I never really set out to be a business owner. I never really thought I had it in me. Probably a bit of like didn't really believe in myself in certain ages throughout my career. But Property Webmasters kind of came about through a job that I was working in with a friend who's still a friend, a family friend, and he was running quite a few property portals around the world. So we were managing over 300 property portals and cluster websites back in sort of 2003, 2004. So I started working for him as a website designer, and then there was a few discussions happened between myself and my friend, and we decided to set up Property Webmasters and start offering that service to other estate agents around the world. And our first client was actually attracted from Switzerland, which was quite bizarre at the time, when we were a two-man company sat in my friend's bedroom. So we managed to attract our first client in Switzerland. So it was and obviously the rest is history.
What would you say has been one of the biggest hurdles you've had to overcome in setting up your own business or your own company?
I don't think there are that many hurdles with actually setting up a company as regards to sort of paperwork and the admin side of things. It's very much more about like your mental strength and your mental capacity to obviously believe in yourself. And Andrew, I don't know how much obviously you get involved in various businesses, and I know that you work with multiple franchises, so you obviously have a lot of challenges along the way, and sometimes you just really don't know kind of whether you can do it. But obviously every challenge that comes your way is an opportunity to learn from and to build on your experience. And I think those that don't succeed, I'm not saying I'm hugely successful, but I think if I didn't have this mindset, I wouldn't have been in the business for this long, and the business wouldn't have carried on for this long. If you don't use those negative experiences throughout your business career as a positive and something to grow from, then you'll fail quite quickly. And if you sort of start feeling sorry for yourself, because every business, really, in my opinion, or every business I've come across and worked with, has its challenges. Nothing's ever smooth in the background. Like even the biggest companies on the planet, they will have some significant challenges for them. And I would never look at another business with envy of how they're doing things and how they may come across. It's much more about understanding that they will too be going through the same challenges that you're facing with staff, with attracting new clients, with some problem clients sometimes, and like all of these things that stack up in every business. But if you have that approach to growing your business, then I'm sure you'll be successful.
So how many people do you employ in total?
We're still a relatively small business, so we have 24 staff.
Yeah.
So it's still enough of a challenge. It's obviously that's one of the biggest challenges, is working with different people, growing the team, growing people within the team, and that's always kind of the biggest challenge that I find anyway. And maybe that's just me being a business owner and a control freak of wanting to get involved in every part of the business. But yeah, it's still certainly a challenge.
So I think when you run your own business, or you run a team of people and you're passionate about what you do, sometimes the most difficult thing is getting that passion over, to those people. How do you do that in your company? How do you relay that?
Well, it is difficult, and I think it's Gary Vaynerchuk that talks quite a lot about this through LinkedIn and his YouTube channels, and he talks about how you can't really expect your employees to be as passionate and as driven as you as the business owner. So it is certainly a challenge, and if you accept that other people may not be as passionate and as driven as you in the business, then you're already of that understanding, and you've already set that expectation. So in a nutshell, really, we try to meet quite regularly. Obviously, we have our weekly management meetings. We have weekly floor shouts where we explain what's happened in the week, and that's me presenting to everybody in the team what's happened that week, and then the following week how that might look. But we also host at least sort of not biannually, sort of every 6 months, we have a vision session where we'll all go and we'll hire a room somewhere, and we'll have a good few hours talking about what direction we're going in as a business, what the challenges are, why we made some key decisions previously, what key decisions we've got to make in the future. And we try and get everybody involved in those decisions as well, so people feel as empowered. And we want obviously all of that feedback, and we wanted to make it a team game. So those vision sessions are really helpful for us, and hopefully, I believe, and from the feedback, people come out of those sessions with feeling quite positive and motivated and empowered to want to be part of the business. And we always finish that with a good few beers. A night out after. So,
the best way for a meeting to end.
Yeah, exactly. All of that motivation's completely gone the morning after. We're all
So, what's the best thing about being your own boss, running your own company?
It's sometimes hard to sort of measure like what's good about being your own boss. It's for me, it's very much like more like on the personal side, and I don't just mean me in that. It's nice to see people come through, and people who maybe start in the business as an apprentice or something like that, but then move on from the business, and they end up sort of sparking off their own careers. We know that we're a small business, and people will move on from the company, and we hope that they have obviously a really strong career ahead of them. So seeing people obviously blossom and go through the journey of becoming a sort of embracing their real and true career path is something that's good. Hopefully they stay within the business for that career path, but that's obviously gives me some pride, and there's some people that we previously worked with who were doing fantastically well, stay in very close contact with them, and it's good to see them doing well. But personally, for me, it's really the opportunity to travel. We are very much an international business. As I mentioned, we've got obviously clients in various countries around the world, meeting people from all different walks of life. I've obviously been in Spain for the past 3.5 weeks, meeting clients and understanding them, and going out for lunch and having a few drinks with them, and really getting to know what kind of upbringing they've had, and what their life journey's been about. And it's really, I love that side of and the flexibility and the opportunity to do those things. So that's probably the biggest enjoyment in running the business.
Excellent. You mentioned a name earlier on when we were talking about the passion, getting that across to your employees. Who's been your biggest influence behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, I think. Well, if we go back to, and I don't want to get too morbid, but I lost my father at 24, and that's kind of when everything kind of clicked for me, and I just thought, I'm gonna have to sort of man up here and start doing something, because I genuinely had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I had some talents in various areas. I wasn't hugely academic, so that was just like a bit of a light switch moment where it's just like, right, okay, now I'm driven, now I'm passionate, now I'm focused, now I know that I need to look after myself, and whatever comes. I didn't have a family at the time, but now I have, and that's obviously my biggest driver now is my family, and I'm pretty sure that that'll probably be the answer from most people that you ask that question.
Excellent. So what do you do to unwind, take time out, reflect where your business is? I hear lots of different funny answers to this.
You want funny answers? Well, to be honest, I find it really hard to switch off and unwind. I think probably just a boring answer, obviously doing sport, going for a run and things like that. But also, obviously, I've got a very, very close group of friends as well, and we like to enjoy. I don't want to say that I've obviously got a drinking culture about me, but we like a night out, and we like to obviously go on golf trips, various things. So all of these things are really quite important to me in my life. But yeah, I genuinely do find it hard to switch off. So if traveling is a massive thing for me, and taking my kids, introducing them to new places, giving them new experiences. So I love it when they go somewhere new, quite young, and they've already been to quite a few countries and experienced quite a few things. So I really like to sort of help them enjoy those moments, and obviously with myself as well. Yeah, it's really just sort of travel, enjoy myself, going out to sort of even work related, like the networking events. I'm off to Budapest for leading real estate companies of the world
Brilliant.
conference at the end of September.
Yeah.
So these kinds of things are just yeah, I actually get to unwind there as
Yeah.
well. It's not just purely business. So yeah, these are all the things that keep me motivated. And
They're important, aren't they? Gives you a
yeah,
bit of thinking space away from the business and
it does. Yeah, it does.
brilliant.
So
So we're going to play the fast forward game. Let's fast forward to 2030, and
mhm.
we do another podcast. And we're sitting here. Where would you like to see your business?
The business, I think, we're obviously we're doing quite well at the moment. There's obviously a lot of growth for the business as it stands.
Yeah.
There are still a lot of challenges for us as a business, from recruitment through to product to embracing new technology through AI and ML and all everything that's sort of happening technically in the digital industry. But really, we're kind of making a bit of a strong play for the new build and off-plan development
Yeah.
side of things, because that's really our sweet spot when it comes to marketing services. So we really are quite passionate about promoting the new build and off-plan and working with developers, working with agents around the world, building on our existing networks. So really want to try and find opportunity of bringing, because we do have quite a vast network of individual brokers, estate agents, property networks, membership forums, property portals. So we are quite well positioned. So really over the next 2 to 3 years, I know you said 2030 there, but like over the next couple of years, we really want to capitalize on the opportunity that we've got to connect all of our clients and create kind of a bit of a internal infrastructure of professionals, if you like. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, no, it sounds like you know where you're heading, and that's probably an important part of running your own business. So excellent. It's been an absolute pleasure, Jamie. I met some of the team when we had our conference last year in September. You were presenting how the website's going to work, and they were really, listening to the franchisees about what they wanted. So it's been really great for you to take some time out of your business today and speak to me. So thank you very much indeed for taking the time to come on.
No, thank you very much for having me. I don't know whether we've actually given anybody any key takeaways at this stage. Hopefully, there's a little bit of advice in what I've said if anybody's looking to start out on a business idea, whether it's in the real estate industry or not.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's a couple of things just to, I don't know, maybe the fact that everybody's going through challenges, so don't feel sorry for yourself when you're experiencing those challenges yourself.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for your time.
All right, cheers, Andrew.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.